All right, what is up? We are back. We have the squad. We have been piecemealing this thing together for like 2 months, but don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen. On today's show, it's that time of year. We have a HYROX major in no less than 72 hours, which can only mean one thing. Your esteemed panel of HYROX drafters is back in action, hailing all the way from the Jersey Shore, fresh off another road race. She had a big fat HYROX PR this fall. She is fit. She is mean. She just called me out for being on mute. We've got Michelle Navarro. Michelle, how are we doing today?
We're feeling feisty today, Matt. I'm ready to draft.
I could tell. I accidentally hit my mute button, and Michelle was like, "You're muted." I was like, "Wow, you sound like my big sister." And is he calling from Antarctica? I don't know. It is dark as shit where he's at today, all the way from the great north. The 36th fastest female high school girls track athlete in the state of Wisconsin. Fresh off a HYROX race of his own. He is back, ladies and gentlemen. The bald-headed wonder. We got Bracken Crocker. BK, how are you doing today?
Stunned and overwhelmed by your energy today. This is whatever levels after the next level is what we're rapidly approaching. I don't know if I can hang with you today.
Bracken, I've got a question for you. What's that like Aldi brand Red Bull that you sometimes talk about? Matt drank an entire case of that.
Red Thunder, and he couldn't hang with a whole case of Red Thunder.
Now that you mention that, there's a Red Bull right out that door. I'm going to go crack one after I do the next one. And fresh back from Florida. I don't know how much sunscreen it took to keep this man still pasty white, but he put enough on all weekend to ensure that he wouldn't get a burn, but he was burning up the DEKA courses. That's right. Your favorite statistician and mine, all the way from the great state of Colorado, Jack Bauer. Jack, how we doing today?
Matt, would this shock you? I didn't bring sunscreen to Florida.
Did you stay in an Uber? Yes. Did you stay in an Uber or in the venue?
I arrived at approximately 8 p.m. on Thursday night. My race was at 11 a.m. I had to walk there about 8-9 minutes from the venue. I felt like 9 a.m.
It's risky.
I was safe. I had my hand making my own little hat right there. And then I got picked up at the venue to leave. So yeah, no sunscreen in Florida. I survived approximately 18 hours without it. Most of it at night.
Jack, that's risky, Jack. That is risky. Jack, real quick, we don't have a ton of time for this, but just give us your overall thoughts on the weekend first. I heard it was great.
It definitely was. I've been to all 4 DEKA Worlds, and I would say organizationally, it definitely felt like there's been improvement since year 1 at DEKA Worlds, and you had a lot more international presence. It was kind of cool seeing a lot of Spain, UK, just different jerseys. People loved repping it. A lot of people from Italy had their their nation on there. But overall, new faces.
The Spaniards love DEKA.
They do. They're pretty good at it too. But I would say overall, it was a very well-run event. I know there were a couple of controversial judging decisions.
No. This is positivity.
No. I was going to say, if you want that, go and watch the streams. But overall, I would say the battles were really, really close for a lot of the races, whether it was solo or teams. And I had fun watching it when I wasn't competing.
All I've got to say on the DEKA controversies, if you want to go after my boy, Ugly Dave, you come through me first. You got beef with Dave Claxton. You got beef with me.
I feel like Matt's going to be snoozing in the corner in 15 minutes. This is unsustainable.
Crashing out.
He's going to be picking a kicker in round 1 if this was fantasy football. He's going to be wild today in the draft.
Y'all, these are my favorite episodes. I have had this circled for months. The last couple weeks, we've just been, we've been trying, just scraping, but now we got some content. We are ready. We are locked and loaded. But before we get there, Jack, you did participate in the Elite Fit race, and I would just like to hear your experience racing in the Elite, how you feel like your race went. You made me talk about my awful performance in HYROX Dallas, so I want to hear about your performance and how you felt about it. You feel good about the weekend?
I would say I'm pretty as he leaves. That
As
he
is the
leaves.
rudest thing. He's going out there to get his red thunder or whatever that thing is.
This is
Come on.
this is what cocaine looks like.
I would have thought this was a different Matt on the show right
Yeah.
now.
He moves back to St. Louis. He gets in the corporate high rise, and he's doing
None of
nose
us
planting.
expected this.
At least
First off, I'm in
Yeah.
a corner office of a CrossFit gym. Secondly, I had my headphones on the entire time. I heard everything that you were saying. And yes, I did just crack a crispy Red Bull, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to the moon. But Jack, back to you. Tell us about that. Tell us about that Elite Fit race.
So everybody goes out crazy. I know that we talk about HYROX, people starting out fast. We've started to see, unless your name is Lauren or Joanna, the rest of the women are like, you know what? That's a little too fast for me. I'm going to run a controlled pace and kind of work my way up through it. That doesn't happen in DEKA. Everybody just goes out way too fast. I got to lunges in last, no surprise. Minute 36 for the opening 500, and I was like 4 or 5 seconds back. I'm like, this is just too fast. That's like low 50 or mid 15 pace. But anyway, worked my way up. I was like 16th, 15th, 14th, 13th, 12th, like just chipping my way throughout the race. Got into burpees in 11th and ended up getting beat by a couple of reps by Lucas Garrett, who took 4th in mile the next day. So overall, like, I'm not mad. I'm just consistently in like that low teens. I'm good enough to get there, but not good enough to like make a difference, which is a little frustrating. But at the same time, I still had a good performance. And Matt, you said it in our group chat, percent of winner. You know, we were talking about that for something else. This was my best percent of winner at a DEKA for World Championship. So
There you go.
run one was way too freaking hot. We had a 129 and a 131. For comparison, for the rest of the runs, just contextualize this for everybody. Everybody else, basically the rest of the race, sat somewhere in the 140 mids to the 150 mids. So, I mean, they just sprinted that first run. And I talked about this with Anthony Parasini on the live reaction show. At what point are people going to learn? There is only a handful of people that strategy can work out for. And BK, I know you don't listen to my show. I get it.
Man,
but
I fall asleep. I wake up. I just have you mainlined all the time.
You with this kind of energy, you should. Anthony brought up a good point that the people who are actually going out at a blazing pace, a la his wife, the difference between her doing that and others is that is still a pace that Lauren can sustain. We've seen her sustain it. So it looks blazing fast, but it's not actually her top end pace. At what point are athletes everywhere going to realize that just gunning it from run one is not a strategy that works?
Next time I do a DEKA fit, I'm going out at like 150 and trying to cut down instead of the other way. I don't care if I'm in 15th place at a local event. I'm just going to see what happens just to prove a point.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, I think with the body of work between DEKA and HYROX is there to know that if run one is your fastest run, you are in for unless it's short course like HYROX, you're in for a bad time.
In a sport that requires you to line your feet as close to the edge of the cliff as humanly possible, I don't know why you'd start it by closing your eyes and broad jumping. Just like, I hope I land on this side of the cliff. I really do, but who knows where my feet are going to land? Like, you're going to look down and realize I've overextended myself. It's just, unless you're racing like 2 or 3 people who are capable of beating you, and your goal is to drag them into deep waters as soon as possible, and you have the biggest capacity in the field, you can't cheat physiology. You just can't.
Yeah. You can do this on like a mountain OCR course where it's like, I'm going to take the legs out of you on this climb, and it might be a valid strategy if you can hang on. This is a flat.
If you're the best climber.
If you're the best, but this is a flat, repeatable 500-meter loop over and over and over again. You know, if you're going too fast, because all you have to do is look at your average time, divide it by 10. You should probably be within a couple of seconds of that all the time, not minus 15 right away. It's crazy.
Yeah, like, I respect the hell out of Aitor Lizarazu. I really do. Shout out to him for coming over. he penned it from run one. He was the second fastest time. Chris was the first at 1:29.
Chris was like a 47-second 400 guy in college. So he probably was like, oh, this is comfortable. But it's like, you don't have the credentials to lead Grayson and Ryan Kent and Isaac and Wright. Don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, but Aitor, he penned it. He went 131. He did his lunges in a respectable 41 seconds, and then a 141 run two. At that point, he was still in second place. He came out of the row first, and then he came into box stepovers first. But then from there, all that time that he gained, he gave back, and he basically, I don't want to call it a slow bleed out because he finished at fourth. But he never, basically for the rest of his runs and the rest of his stations, he was in the middle of the pack. And I just can't help but wonder, had he not taken out the first 3 runs and the first 3 stations so hard, does he have a better shot at the podium? We'll never know.
You never bleed out at the same rate that you accelerate early. It's not the same. You don't just like, your graph never looks equal up and down. It's always steeper coming down.
Yeah. For sure.
Good point. Yeah. But just
any other thoughts on your race, Jack?
Yeah, just put a bow on it. I mean, if I did my normal burpees, I just didn't have it at the end. But even without that, I was within like a minute to a minute 15 of a lot of guys who've recently gone 58 to 61, 62 in HYROX recently. So it's a confidence booster for Phoenix when I go out there that my fitness isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Jack, I don't know if you know this. You're fit. A lot of people are saying
DEKA
it.
fit, yeah.
A lot of people are saying it.
And I will say, I talked with a lot of athletes afterwards. Those who practice DEKA are better at DEKA. Those who just do threshold running at HYROX didn't have that ability on the air bike or a couple of the really anaerobic zones. And that's why you saw Grayson, Katie Duke, Kevin Greger, like the DEKA specialists doing what they're doing, while other names who you'd expect to be at the front just dropped off a little bit. So specificity matters these days.
Look, I think at this point, there might have been a time where the top end of both could kind of play to the one exception to this is Lauren Weeks. But for everybody else, there was a once upon a time where the top end could kind of get away with playing to both sides. You're just not going to show up and win one of these things if you're not putting in the work and the effort. Shout out to Grayson getting that DEKA Fit World Champion, that first place finish. He 100% deserved it. Guy is Mr. DEKA at this point. He's put in the time. He's put in the work. And he looked like he was in control most of the race. And Kent talked about that in a post interview. He basically said, look, Grayson is just better than me. And if I want to give Grayson a run for his money in this, I would have to have specificity in my training. And I didn't take that as knocking down Grayson at all. I took it as an acknowledgement of like, there is a gap and it is going to take consistent effort for me to even contend, not necessarily win, but like if I actually wanted to even have a shot, I'd have to put work in on this, which makes on the women's side all that much more impressive. We had our first elite trifecta. Brooklyn Nichols, clean sweep of the elite field, fit, mile, and strong. And she just recently ran a blazing fast HYROX time. Is Brooklyn Nichols the up-and-comer on the women's side from the U.S. that everybody needs to watch out for across the board? I think the answer is yes.
For sure.
I remember our preview episode. Yes. I remember our preview episode. We were all like, all right, is this the biggest gap between first and second place ever? And Michelle's like, no, just because Kat has the number 1 seed, watch out for Brooklyn. And yeah, you were right.
Yeah, it was pretty clear when I saw her in Chicago that she was on another level. So I had a feeling that DEKA was gonna play in her favor. But I didn't expect the triple crown. So that is unbelievable performance from her.
Look, Kat Fossbender is my homie. Kat, I love you. You had a great weekend. You're going to bounce back. I know that you are. But Brooklyn, I owe you an apology because I pulled a Jack Bauer and I said, just put Kat's name on the check. And, well, I was wrong. I apparently was not familiar with your game, Brooklyn, and I owe you an apology. So thanks for giving me the Dylan Scott. and telling me exactly where to shove my predictions up. So great job, Brooklyn. You crushed it. Great weekend overall. Also, just want to say this. We were talking about how we were going to have a pile up 3-7. And I said, when push comes to shove, experience matters. Katie Duke's going to sneak up on that podium. And where did Katie Duke come from? Out of nowhere, blasted through for that third place finish on the fit. Katie, great job. Awesome race. All right. Any other final thoughts on DEKA before we transition to the main event?
Just Jack, how many guys there had super shoes?
All but me. I actually brought mine, but they were rubbing. Like, I just don't like how the heel.
Yeah, they're not real shoes.
Yeah. Sorry, what?
They're not real shoes.
Yeah.
I love you to death. You are giving away 3 to 5 seconds per run to every person in that field.
I'm well aware. Yeah.
So that makes your performance all the more impressive. And you can't lean into them when you come off of assault bike, when you come off of row, when you come off of things that have depleted you. You can't lean into them, and then that shows back up on things like burpees. So you have like a reverse asterisk. Your result is better than it looks.
Everyone else has an asterisk except for me. Yeah.
That's right. You're the only pure man out there.
I'm a old school runner right there. But if they get
Jack Bauer is running in Vivo barefoots, baby.
Might as well be.
All right. Yeah. All right. It is the most wonderful time of year. It's Christmas and it's HYROX Elite 15 racing. The boys and girls are back in action down under. Is anybody going to watch it live? Jack, you haven't even gone to bed yet by the time this thing's
please.
done.
Yeah.
What's the conversion?
It's like midnight.
Yeah.
Midnight Eastern for the women's race, and then 3 a.m. Eastern for the men's race on Friday. Oh, yeah. I could do that.
Yeah, I will not be watching live.
I'm going to spoil everything in the results or in the group chat.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it'll be spoiled because by the time we wake up, unless you just stay off of Instagram,
don't go on Instagram. Yeah, that's what you have to do.
I know, but right now
you should do that anyway. Don't wake up with Instagram.
Living. I know, but I am living for the John Hamm TikTok trend. I mean, these are the best videos I've ever seen in my life, and I cannot get enough of it. So I'm gonna have to show some self-control, a little bit of constraint, but. Down under, we got a big time race this weekend. 3 spots are available for both men and women. And on the men's side, it will for sure be 1, 2, and 3 because all of the people that have already qualified on the men's side are foregoing this race. So our 1, 2, 3 will be your world qualifiers. And then on the women's side, we've got Joanna and we have Lauren racing. Vivian is not going, so it could roll down as far as 5th. Jack, do you want to share your screen? We can kick off this draft.
No. We do wheel of names first. Come on, Matt. I know. You're excited. We're excited about the wheel of names making a comeback. So let's not forget
all right. Let's see. Let me get this reset up.
Bracken is a pro sneezing with the mute button.
Michelle, so waiting for the comment.
Me?
You're muted.
You know better.
They're over under. I don't think I've ever heard Michelle cuss on the show. Over under 0.5 STFUs from Michelle directed at Matt. BK.
Under. That's the stupidest bet ever.
I don't know.
It's a new day, people. You never know.
It's 5:00 for Michelle. We might have a glass of wine over there. All right, can you all see my screen?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Wheel of names. I demand a recount.
The least accomplished hybrid athlete gets the best position. That's how you reverse seed a draft. That's how the NFL will do it.
All right. Which one do you want, BK? What spot do you want?
I want the first spot.
All right.
I don't know about that pick.
You don't even know what my pick is.
I'm just messing with you.
Michelle, what pick would you like?
I'll do 2.
All right, I will take the snake. Give me the 4.
All right.
That leaves Jack with the 3.
I'm taking 3.
All right, as always, we will be doing cross-country scoring. And for this,
so energetic today. Just
for this, we have decided HYROX has announced who the roll down spots will go to in the event that an athlete pulls out. It is Fabi Eisenlauer on the men's side, and then on the women's side, we have 2 backups, Vicky McIntyre and Calypso Sheridan. So we have agreed that if one of our athletes pulls out day of and is replaced by one of the roll downs, your athlete that is pulled out will you'll sub in the replacement. So that's how we're going to handle it. So we agreed to this beforehand. So I don't want any complaining. Jack, now will you share your screen?
there we go.
Bam. All right. This is a professional operation. Jack, I'm going to give you the option because you were drafted last. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Never mind.
I was third.
We're going to table it. I know, but you were technically drafted last. I'm going to table that thought anyway.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and get this kicked off. First pick, as a reminder, you need 3 men, 3 women, and you get 1 wild card. BK, you are on the clock.
I'm almost starting with my wild card here, ladies and gents, because I'm about to do something incredibly disrespectful.
I know what you're going to do.
I love this.
You don't know. I'm picking KBB. No, I'm starting with Joanna. Now, Lauren Weeks should be drafted number 1 overall every single race that Meg is not in, and maybe even if Meg is there. That is a 50-50 flip of a coin to me. But Joanna is the real deal, and Jack Bauer will die on the hill that proximity to your own bed is the single most important factor in any athlete in their performance at a competition. Nothing else matters. It's proximity to home and percentage of winner. That's all he needs. That and 0 drop
correlation. Yeah.
And so I'm taking Joanna. I am sorry that I'm not taking Lauren. It's disrespectful, but Joanna's that good, and the travel to Australia puts her over for me.
It's hard to argue with this pick. The last time we had a major in APAC was in Hong Kong. And I believe Joanna won that race.
Yeah. November last year.
I don't know. To be fair, I don't know where Joanna lives in Australia, but she definitely lives a heck of a lot closer to Melbourne than everybody else in the race. And to your point, I mean, at this point, like, we've already seen her do it. She had a great race in Hamburg with that 58.22, and just look at her run of results. The only time that she has done worse than second place was in her debut Elite 15 race in Amsterdam, in which Meg was in the field.
She's the future, and she also might just be the present.
And the future is now. Any other thoughts on Joanna? Squad?
It was an impressive first race in the majors this year, so it'll be really exciting to see what she does in basically the hometown race.
Mm-hmm. All that being said, what does Lauren do every time she gets beat? She decimates the world for the next several months. So,
yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I don't know where you find a hole in Joanna's game. I mean, you go back to that Hamburg race, sled push 222, sled pull 306. Burpees maybe a touch slow at 341, but nothing crazy. Farmers 134, lunges 324, wall balls 330, and her average run time was 408. So I mean, actually no, that's wrong. That's because they did the weird thing with farmers carries, right, Jack? Where it like all got, so it's probably sub 4. It's probably like 340 high, 350 low. So yeah. She's gonna be a problem. She's gonna be a problem. All right, Michelle.
I would have done the same thing, Bracken, if I had the number 1 pick.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to take maybe an unexpected pick or expected pick, but I'm going to go with Hunter here for my first choice.
Jack just got gifted a first overall pick.
There's still options. We got options. Michelle,
yes,
talk to us about the bulk pony.
So we always complain that, well, Jack and I always complain that we never see enough of Hunter because he doesn't race as much. But we did see him put down a really awesome doubles time in, what was that, Dallas? I think it's very telling that he is just geared up for the majors specifically. And he obviously had the intention of going to Australia for this major. And I think this is just his shot and he's not going to miss, truthfully. I think that's kind of what I'm feeling from, especially him getting second at the World Championships. I think he's just ready to put it down. So I feel like he's ready to go.
I think it absolutely drives Hunter crazy that the conversation has turned into Hunter was good because the field wasn't. That the sport was made for him and that his world championships came at a time when the depth of field wasn't as competitive. I think he would never admit that, but I think it drives him nuts. We've never really seen him the last, 3-4 years be this locked into training this early. I talked to him in Dallas. He seems to have, he thinks that he has found his ideal weight. He's notorious for being heavy and then being really light. The dude always looks like a weapon, sitting at like 210, feels like that's where he wants to be. And I agree that race that he ran with Jake, and this is no disrespect to Jake, although Jake even said this, Hunter was dragging him around the course, which is wild. And he's been there. He's been over there. He's hanging out with Chris Woolley. Timing shouldn't be an issue. I think that we still have something special to see out of the bulk pony.
One of the people on this planet that Hunter respects the most as an athlete and as how to train for athletics is Hobie Call. And we saw this with Hobie. The conversation switched. Was he great or was he great because of his time? And then he refocused and came back and pretty much clean swept like 9 straight months of racing. But he came in early and just raced. He ended up not winning the world championship that year. He won, I think, the next year. But anyway, this feels like Hunter kind of mimicking that. Are you on your way out of the sport? Are you not? You've taken time away and then suddenly lock in early and often. And we could see a type of run like that out of him. So I think this is a great pick. It's the show we need is Hunter at these majors.
Yep.
We don't know how long Hunter is going to keep racing, but I don't think that he will stop racing until he wins another world championship. He seems like the type of person who is going to make sure his last season is when he goes out on top. And based on what we've seen in training and how good he looked during that doubles race, the man is at close to all-time fitness. Don't forget Chicago, he got second place, and basically it took the effort of all time by Tim just to hold him off. And Hunter
4 seconds.
Hunter can go unbroken on 100 wall balls in a very fast, high stress race situation. He's been down in Australia for a while. So I 100% agree with everything that you guys have said. And next power rankings, I'm very confident he will be in the top 5 now that we're seeing him race again.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of talk on when will he retire, when will he not. The way that I see it is, I believe he's only 36. So he's still got several great years left of racing, and it feels like HYROX is picking up steam at the right point in time to keep Hunter around. Between the feed sponsorship and a Maze Fit, we've got 40,000 person races. He's still the face of HYROX on the men's side. And you got to wonder, like, he's also a businessman. So as long as he's near or at the top, this is it's on a lucrative trajectory for Hunter. There's really no reason for him to stop racing if he can continue to compete at the top.
No, it was never an age question. It was tread on the tires mentally. Yeah. How many more years can I get up for this? But HYROX's trajectory has basically taken away any reason not to.
That's what I'm saying. It changes the calculus, does it not?
It does.
This is what you all hoped Spartan was going to be when we had TV and all that. Like, I mean, he's got there's a reason for him to get up for it now.
Yeah. And speaking of Hobie said in 2012, probably 2013, Hunter is going to be the first person to make $1 million off this sport. And he was wrong. And now it's coming back to, he might be right again. He might be the first person that makes $1 million off HYROX. Like it's too big of a platform. He won't let this go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's the showman, right? I think that the show is getting bigger. I just don't see the showman walking away if he's still got the capacity to be able to compete.
Nope.
And with that, on to our third pick of the day. Jack, I mean, this is so obvious, but it makes me feel like you're not going to. Okay, thank you.
I was like, thanks for Lauren. I'll take her in round the third overall pick. This is by far
Is this the lowest Lauren has gone in years?
For sure.
I think she is always the number one. We always pick the top woman first, it seems, and it's almost always her. I can't imagine a single time when she wasn't the number one pick.
Yes,
there was one time where Rich picked Beg.
Yeah.
But
I guarantee Lauren went second overall in that case. Third, that's shocking, but that is what she finished at World Championships and Hamburg, her past two races. But Bracken, he had a really good point earlier. He's like, what happens whenever she doesn't win a race in the elite field? Dallas, she got third 2021, came back, won World Championship right after that. Las Vegas, I guess she was pregnant. She got ninth, then she ended up winning Maastricht. Chicago 2023, got third, ended up winning world champs at Manchester the next race. Second place, Chicago 2023. Then she got second in Stockholm and bounced back and got first in Vienna. So you're just seeing this pattern over and over again of not first, comes back, figures it out, ends up getting a win. A little different this time. Sleds have seemed to be a problem for her if we're being completely transparent, but she's just shown over and over again, just one, not one. She got a not one a couple times in a row. I think a one is coming.
Here's a little stat for you, though. The one thing that we consistently talk about Lauren is that the combination of her and Anthony, her husband and coach, they typically don't let a weakness stay a weakness. I can remember back in the day whenever I was listening to Race Brain back in the OCR days when it was BK, Jack, Rich, and Kirk talking about how Lauren's weakness was the farmer carry. And it was something that continued to pop up and it was bewildering to everybody. And then all of a sudden we stopped talking about Lauren's farmer carry. Why? Because she fixed it. It was no longer a weakness. We, for the first time in years, saw Lauren run a regional race in Chicago, which was not, keep me honest, we did not talk about how the sleds were easy there. We thought that the sleds were very fair, maybe even a little bit difficult. Lauren's sled push in Hamburg was 245. Anybody want to take a guess as what it was in Chicago?
230?
The same.
221. She dropped 24 seconds on the push. And then her pull in Hamburg was 331. So you might think, okay, well, did she give it all back? No, her sled pull in Chicago was 335, only a 4-second difference. So on the sleds there, she gained a net 20 seconds on there. And she was able to, she had her running legs because she finished a whole minute faster on Chicago than what we saw in Hamburg. So I'm not, here to say that that the sleds are fixed, but I don't imagine that she's going to be worried about them going into this race.
Well, and I don't have a direct line to what she does in training, but we've interviewed her a few times. And the overarching theory of what she does is a lot of work, a little specificity. She likes doing a lot of things, just good work. Build engine, build engine, build engine. And this just kind of feels like that works right up until something gets her. And then she gets specific for a little bit. And then it's fine because she's that good of an athlete. It doesn't take much time. She's so strong and fit that she just sharpens a little bit on something and then it's good again. And that's what this felt like.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I talked with her in Chicago after the race, and I asked her why she wanted to do the regional, or just like a non-mate, like elite. And I think it is just getting the repetitions in, getting the specificity in, and practicing in a race effort. It just is different than training. So it was cool to see her there, and she put down a crazy time. She worked out, clearly the sleds and anything else that she wanted to get the reps in for. So feels like it's a great thing for her, and just giving her that confidence boost to get back into the major and attack things the way that she wants to.
Yeah, you don't want a question mark coming in when you're a front runner. You want to know what's going to happen when you push the button.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's crazy that this pick is happening here. But I even if she doesn't win, even if Joanna pulls it off, she's never missed a podium.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna score. She's gonna score, and I don't see her. I mean, again, like it happened in the last race. I don't see her taking another third place. I think it's 1 or 2 for Lauren. Now I say that, and something crazy is going to happen, and you guys are going to shove it in my face on the recap episode. But it feels like it. Lauren Weeks is as close to a lock as there is left in the sport. There's not a lock on the men's side anymore. There's 3 people that I think are locks at this point in the sport, maybe 4. They're all women: Meg, Lauren, Joanna. Tell me
who's the maybe? Who's the maybe for?
Ronkovich. But I would need to
write
see
his name on the check.
I would need to see more sustained. I'd need to see more sustained results, and then I'd also give a maybe to Dylan right now. But if Dylan does it again, I'd probably say that at this point he
feels like a lock.
He does feel like a lock, but the men's field is just wide open. But I don't feel like this race is wide open. So with the 4th and 5th pick, give me the Aussie, James Kelly. Write it in, Jack. That's right.
There.
That is right. I like this race, or I like this pick for all the same reasons why BK feels good about Joanna. I think proximity to your bed matters. I think this is a home race. I think that the Aussies are proud people. And I think that JK has been doing a little bit of searching. And I just don't think that his last couple of elite races are indicative. Past performance are not indicative of future results. And so I'm going to trust the body of work. I think he was coming off of in Hamburg. He was coming off a marathon block. He is further removed from that, more HYROX specificity. I feel very good about JK. And the reason why I'm taking JK before someone mentions it is, yes, he does have that 2nd place finish in Seoul to another name on this list, Josh Van Zeelen, but we don't know where they were at or where he was at in the training. And I also just think that when I'm looking at the field here on both the men and women's side, this is really exciting. We have a lot of new entrants, and I think experience matters. I think in major racing and world championship racing, experience matters. The moment is not going to be too big for JK. He knows how to race. I feel really good about that.
He also got 4th in the major that started this all off. So he wasn't that far off from getting his world spot. So
with a sub 55.
Yeah, and this is a great pick.
Yeah, I feel really good about this. And I am going to zig when everyone thinks that I'm going to zag. You all have no idea what I'm about to do. I am going to take another person from down under. Give me the Australian Special Forces. That's right. I want Jonathan Wynn with my second pick. Give me the Aussie. I am fired up about this one. I am pumped to take John Wynn here. I think that when I went back and forth on what I was going to do here, there's going to be a lot of people that are shaking their head on this. But again, I go back to, I think Aussies are extremely proud people. And I think that this race means something to Jonathan Wynn. He has circled this for months. And when I say months, I mean going even back to pre-world championships. He talked about how much it meant to him to get an auto qualifier because he wanted to circle Melbourne as his A race. He wanted to be able to race in front of his friends and his family. He's got family members and friends that have never seen him race live. I think this means more to him. He has been training. He finally, I shouldn't say finally, but he's made the decision that he doesn't want to just be another racer. He wants to compete. He thinks that he can get on a podium. He thinks that he can win a race, and he knew that he was going to have to make adjustments to that. I don't know how much y'all been following his training, but he has been locked in on the running. He has put a heavy run block in the last 3 months, specifically focusing in on dialing in his pace to be able to run a 331K deep into the race. Look, John Wynn is one of the strongest station guys out there. If he gets to a 331K, he's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem. And the other thing is, the dude, my final piece of this, before everyone tries to pop my air balloon, John Wynn likes it when you don't believe in him. And he posted the other day that no one's going to pick him. He literally put out a post that says, I know no one's going to pick me, but I also know that I'm going to be there at the end of the race. And that is the kind of attitude we want on Team Matt. Give me the Aussies. JK and John Wynn. Now, Jack, tell me why I'm wrong. Or BK. You're just holding it in. Go for it, BK.
I want to go now because I want to be the first to take you down a peg because you hate America. But I'm not going to. I think everything you said is a reason why an athlete is about to implode. They did way too big of a run block, too much too soon, ramped it up, too much pressure of the hometown. We've seen this happen with athletes. You blow up in front of your hometown because it means so much. You're not relaxed as much.
I love this. This is going to be fodder for John Wynn. Please keep it going. Keep it going.
I don't think it applies to John Wynn because every time John Wynn goes online and makes the type of story post that I would not want out of another athlete, I don't think it's in a good headspace to be worried about everyone else talking about you. He fuels off of it and he crushes his race. Him having a chip on his shoulder is like Lauren losing a major. The next thing that happens is really good. So I actually agree that John Wynn is the type of athlete who will feed off this as fuel, who will not implode because of it. I think certain people are too bound up by emotions and they can't handle more emotional baggage. I think that it's actually converted to fuel for John Wynn. So while I don't like your pick, I agree with it.
I think experience plays out a lot too. Like in terms of the relaxing part, I just feel like he has delivered in some really crazy performances, like Barcelona, the last chance qualifier where he got his world spot, and getting fifth at the world champs. Like he can deliver in high pressure performances. So I don't see this as a bad pick, Matt. And honestly, like we're talking about the elite 15 athletes here. They can have their day, and some may not. So it could be his.
And we have 6 new racers. It's going to be chaos.
Yeah.
This race is going to be chaotic. There's just no way around it. And you know who's not going to be worried about that chaos? The dude who was in the fucking special forces. He's not worried about this. We're running around a convention center with our shirts off. He's not worried about it. He's not worried about it.
Is he worried though?
No, he ain't worried. He's not worried. He's not worried. Any thoughts on the JK pick? We kind of breezed over that. It's okay if you don't.
Nah, it makes sense. But taking James.
Jack says it makes sense. What else do you need? That's the HYROX statistician right there. If Jack says it's a good pick, it's a good pick.
Probably sleeps pretty close.
Timing's good. He had time to get some things in order. He had time to get the marathon out of his legs. Some of those things last longer than you expect them to. He's had time. He hasn't over-raced. He's had the amount of time that you would maybe expect things to come together during. I like it.
Is this Jack, can you click on his name real quick? Is this the longest it's been, James? Is this the longest it's been between races for him?
Since November 8th.
Yeah, he races like monthly. So
I know.
Pretty close. Yeah, pretty close.
He didn't do anything last May after Atlanta to Chicago. So
I don't think there was much.
I know. Well, he could have done one if he
probably ran a marathon.
Yeah.
All right, Jack.
Oh, I definitely agree. Jonathan Wynn is going to overperform relative to many others. This race clearly means more to him. But
we've just gifted Jack just
what
two massive picks.
What are you guys doing? Let me have Tim Vanish and Lauren Weeks. Like it made it around. Tim just won a world championship and ran a 54:21 in Germany on Halloween. Like, I know that we're talking about distance and we've picked a bunch of people in Australia. This guy's got to fly about 10,000 miles from Germany to get to Australia for this race. Doesn't matter. Tim, sub 54, Chicago, reigning world champion. I know he got 7th in Germany, which is kind of weird. You'd think in his home country he would have done a little bit better in Hamburg. But look at his past 4 races: 54:21, 55:10, 53:53, and 54:31. We have 6 newcomers, as you mentioned, on the men's side. I think we have 6 on the women's side. We're not having 6 new people run 54 mid or faster. Like, I don't see a way that he misses the podium.
I am on my fact-checking era with Jack this week, and if he's going to post adjusted times on the screen, I'm going to go off adjusted times. So no, he hasn't been 54, 53, 55, 54. He's been 56, 54, 56, 54 high.
That's
Jack,
true. Using my own numbers against me.
Using your numbers against you. I agree with your picks. You got 2 number 1 picks in the 3rd spot. All I can do is reach using your stats. If these were the first 2 picks off the board, no one would have argued them.
Yep.
This is dumb.
Look, this is why I said I was going to zig. Look, this is why I said I was going to zig when people expected me to zag. Everyone thought that I was going to pick Tim there. And I thought about it. I really did. I thought about it long and hard. But you know what? Making the obvious picks has not served me. And damn it, I am tired of finishing 4th in these freaking drafts.
Yeah, you were definitely 4th last time.
I've been 4. I've got a string of 4s. I got a string of them. Dawson reminds me all the time that every time he comes on here, he kicks my ass. So does Marcus. I got to change something up. So
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Tim will let you down though.
Tim's not gonna let you down. I think that this 100% scores for you, and you're looking at. I can't see him finishing out of the top 4, and realistically, maybe even out of the top 2 in this field. So that's a great pick.
All right, Michelle.
Right.
Michelle.
I will go for the women now. Please give me Linda Meyer.
Reach. No, I'm just kidding.
I think, again, experience is going to play out here. Linda, former world champ or current world champ, I guess. Yeah, she got 5th in the last major, 4 seconds away from 4th. And yeah, I just think that her experience speaks for itself. And I think she'll be geared up for this race, major number 2, and getting that world championship spot for herself.
I also think it's interesting. She talked about after her doubles race with Meg that she needed to rethink her training. It was like a little kind of like throwaway comment that I don't know that a lot of people picked up on.
Just you.
No,
Overthinking.
Always with the insider information.
It's not insider information. It was, you guys listen to RMR? Do you just watch these people's stories? No, she talked about it, and I think that it's weird to think that a world champion would potentially rethink some of the run training that they're doing. But I'm just saying, they got a good thing going over there, the ESN crew. It's a great pick, Michelle.
Yeah, I mean, and I think at the top, they're always trying something new, right? Like they've gotten the best out of themselves, and they need that extra 1%. So sometimes it does take kind of questioning things if you feel like you're at a plateau for yourself, if that's what she feels like. I don't know, but yeah, I still am confident with her. I think she'll figure it out, and I think she'll deliver a great performance.
100%. BK.
Well, I'm sitting over here. During the break, I accused Matt of having a little nose candy. His Jonathan win pick, only his rant about it just has me no less convinced that he's on the booger sugar down in St. Louis. But I'm going to make a similar line of reasoning here. I'm going to be off the rails with these two picks. I think that history is about to be proven false. On the men's side, we do not see newcomers make a splash at their first major. Unless your name is, I don't know, Rylan? You don't make a splash at your first major. But I'm taking newcomers. So I want Josh Van Zeelen and I want Cole Learn. I'm going to ride the hot hand. I'm going to ride some names here who have beaten bigger names. And I think that the home run hitters are gone. And so now it's time to start.
I'm glad you think that.
Taking some chances.
Yeah, Seoul. We saw Josh take down James Kelly. Head to head. Wasn't even in a different day. It's a pretty big accomplishment right there. And now
and beat him at his own game.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep me honest though. He could have had that circled as just playing devil's advocate. Josh Van Zeelen he's definitely going to be was he our breakout athlete of the year on the Roxy's?
I think
he's a person to watch for. He was a person to watch for in the season preview show because he had just dropped that Sydney time. But keep me honest here. I'm pretty sure the one devil's advocate argument that I would make between him and JK is JK, who knows why JK ran that race? Who knows where he was at in his training, if he tapered into it, if he didn't. I think Josh needed this race because this is probably one of the times that got him into the Elite 15. Because just looking at his previous results, 57.17 wouldn't have cut it, and neither would that 57.39. So he needed that Seoul race to break in. So he could have had that circled as an A race.
Yeah, I agree with you. I love that we didn't see him race 3 or 4 times since. At least one of these two is fresh.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that you need something like that to be able to step to a major with confidence that you really belong. Because we've seen enough people run 57s, 56s, and be total non-factors when they show up with the big dogs.
Mm-hmm.
He's done the 54, but he also beat someone who has multiple major wins. So he at least believes, he can honestly believe in himself that I'm here. I can beat anyone.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Of course, James Kelly probably didn't have that circled for Seoul as his number one race, but you nailed it, Bracken. He believes he can beat some of these people now. Even if someone has an off day and they didn't taper for a race, you still had their number that day and you are good enough to beat them. And who's to say that he's not going to have another good day? A lot of his races, you look at this, 5 races, 4 of them are in the APAC area. He came over to Worlds. We know it's his first ever major, but World Championships in Chicago, in the age group division that he was in, that felt like a world, a major in terms of environment and just everybody going out too fast. And I don't think that the bright lights got to him because he got 3rd place overall out of all the age groupers during that race. So I like this pick. If he came back to me, he was going to be my next pick. I didn't think he'd go this early.
Yeah, it feels like now it's time. That's all. And history will say that he's not ready. History will say Cole Learn's not ready for the big stage. But I think they're racing differently than we used to see some of these guys who didn't actually prove that they're ready. I think they're racing differently than they are.
We had Cole Learn doing like 55s and 54s in these non-elite races. So this is very different than what we've seen in the past. So these are crazy times.
Yeah, and I think that the quality of these races matter. And I can only speak to this just because This is not North American bias. I just know the people that are in these races, and I know these results better than some of the European races. Boston, Atlanta, and Chicago, Cole had competition in all of those races. He had Jack Driscoll. He had Ryan Kent. He had Colin Stiefer. He had Dylan Scott. He had Steven Pelkoffer. He had big names that he's raced against. So although it's not the same as racing in the Elite 15, it's not like he was just time trialing by himself and he's dropping these times. He was racing.
Yep.
Yes. But I think that is going to help for sure. Cole I was kind of hoping he was going to be there. He's like one of those dudes that just fill with piss and vinegar. You know, you just feel like he's just going to show up on the start line and he's going to give it everything that he has. He's all in on this. He's coached by Sandy, who can at least, help him on not only on the physical side, but on the mental side with just what you can expect in an Elite 15 race. Sandy obviously knows a lot of these racers. I think that matters for something. It's a good pick, BK. It's good picks.
Me?
I don't think that's booger sugar at all. Michelle.
Thank you. But I mean, it's you and I agreeing with each other.
It could be. It very well could be. Yeah. All right, Michelle.
I think I got to go back to the guys before they're all gone. Please give me Bo Wills. I'm going to take the last guy or one of the last from that region who has been consistent in the majors. And I don't see why he wouldn't be any different in this race. So again, I'm just going with experience this time. That's my go-to right now.
Well, Michelle, that was my biggest hesitation on my last round. Location and proven performance, plus still upside athletically to improve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was hard not to take Bo. So it's okay.
Look, I say this every time, and the joke never lands. Bo knows. All right? He's good. Bo is good. Bo is really good. Last year, he was a dark horse for the podium. He was always known as a station guy. Then he got his running up. I mean, I don't think he had the string of results that he would have expected for himself in Chicago or Hamburg, but he's consistent. I think it also matters to him getting a home regional race. He's a proud Kiwi. He's going to show up. He's going to be ready for this. Guy is locked. And experience matters.
Yeah.
Solid pick. All right. Next guy. There was a race in the UK not too long ago, and 8 people were in this race. And the person who ended up winning that race was Tim Vienisch, and the second place finisher over a minute ahead of 6 other people who were in this race was Sean Noble. I'm excited for where he's at. The past 3 races, 55, 57, 54, 45, and 55.04. And all of those have been since late October. He's traveled quite a bit through the years. And I mean, with a lot of new names in this field and some of the heavy hitters out there, we talked about experience. He's raced in majors before. I think Sean is going to have a fantastic race.
He's been really solid this season.
Guys,
does Dublin worry you?
No. I know he got third there, but I mean, the fact that he was 45 seconds behind Tim in Stuttgart, it was
his 4th race in 6 weeks. He's going to be so fresh for this race, BK.
Yeah.
So fresh.
That's what I'm saying. Just going down there and showing the first sign of potentially backtracking with maybe fatigue, does that worry you? I'm not questioning him. If he's fresh and recovered, he's top 5 here, in my opinion. Was it too much?
No, my opinion is what he did in Stuttgart, finishing 45 seconds ahead of Tim, or behind Tim, and then over a minute ahead of all the others who are in this race. That's enough for me to pick him right here.
Okay.
All right.
Has anyone raced that we've picked yet as much as he raced this fall? October, November. That
Oh
is-
yeah,
that's
There's
density
a-
of schedule.
Yeah, no,
there is somebody.
there's
No,
a name
that we
sitting
picked?
right. No,
Not yet.
Yeah,
Not
that's
yet.
been picked. So he's the first of the high density racers to get picked.
Yes.
Michelle, would you race that schedule confidently before a major?
If I had the intention of trying to get a time to get into an elite major, yes. If not, then no. But like that's the intention, right? Like if you're purposely trying to race your way in somewhere, it makes sense. And you can also race your way into fitness in some regard, but yeah, it's going to catch up to you eventually, but hopefully
I
not.
don't fault the logic. He did what had to be done. But I would have skipped Dublin.
That's where he's
Yeah.
from.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's his home race.
I get, like I said, I don't fault the logic.
I don't know. I don't know, BK. It's so tough because 2 years ago we would have said yes, but now we're seeing people who do this and they don't seem to pay the price. Now, in fairness, your argument back to that as a wise race brain host would be it doesn't catch up to them yet because we're living in the moment. And so when we zoom out and take a more macro view, is it going to catch up to him in 12 months, 18 months? Maybe.
Who knows?
But we have seen stretches like this where they are able to pull it off.
Yeah.
So, all right. I need to pick a female, and I'm stuck between three, and I only have 2 picks. And these feel like a coin flip, but the one that is not a coin flip is give me Seka Arning. My first female off the board. Seka has been on a great run this fall. She had that 4th place finish in Hamburg with a 60-30. She followed that up with one of the best pro doubles times that we've ever seen with Manuela Garcia Caparros with that sub 55. She also raced with Camila actually twice this fall, dropping some 57s. She has been open about some of the nutrition struggles that she had on getting electrolytes and just food timing and all of that. And that's why we saw some of those, we'll call them uneven performances. But Seka is a dog. There are only a handful of people that we have seen basically pass out in a race and finish, and she is one of them. Her running is top notch right now. She went down 2 weeks ahead of time to adjust to the time zone and get ready. And that's about as good as you can do of not being in your own bed. Hopefully she's got a comfortable one down there. So I feel really good about this one.
And she's impressed lately. So I think this is a great pick. I don't see why she wouldn't be up there like the same thing. She got 4th in the first major, so should definitely look out for her as being towards the top in this race.
Past 2 majors, 4th and 4th. She still made it to Worlds last year, finished 14th, wasn't her best showing, but 2 straight majors, 4th place, already acclimated time zone wise. I think it's a great pick.
I feel good about this one. All right, Michelle, you never lead me astray. Should I pick with my head or should I pick with my heart?
Always going to say heart.
Well, then if I'm picking with my heart, give me Sinead. Then Sinead is back. I'm not going to say who I was going to go if I picked with my head because I'm hoping that they're still going to be there. But Sinead is back. She's coming back from injury. This is going to be her first solo race. And you might think, oh, that is worrisome. But she did run a mixed doubles in Dublin to bust some of the rust off, which we have seen work well for others. And in that race, she dropped a 55-41. And the thing that sticks out to me the most is their average run pace in that race was 3:45. Sinead's weapon is her ability to run. And if she can run that race, or she can run those times in that race, that tells me that her running is back. She has the most electric farmer's carry in the sport. I cannot wait. I'm already thinking about it. It's going to be...
Is that a feature or a bug?
It's going to be 6:30. It's going to be 6:30 on Friday morning. I'm going to be drinking Resolute coffee, and you're going to think that that's going to be the thing that gets me jacked up. No, it's going to be when I get to the Farmers Carry and the women's elite races, and that crowd goes wild because Sinead picks those things up like a couple of golf balls and runs circles around the venue.
Matt, if you're in this type of mood, you might genuinely have a heart attack.
It's not the Resolute coffee. It's what's sprinkling in it.
Yeah.
Shout out to the boys at Resolute.
Matt, what's the you're a wrestling fan. What's the most electric move in all of sports entertainment? Is it the People's Elbow or Sinead's Farmers Carries?
You know, you're really playing at my heartstrings because I do love the People's Elbow, but it's got to be Sinead. I mean, we were all there in Chicago. It was palpable when she picked it up. It was crazy all weekend long.
You know, I think there is just something to her spirit when she's out there. And I think that is very telling for her trajectory and for what everyone is excited to see from her. And we really haven't seen that many races from her. And she's already done so well. So I think that this is a great pick because I think she's only just getting started. And she's had a really great start so far. Got a little bit of a setback with an injury, but seems like she's healthy and ready to go. So, yeah, I'm excited to see her race again.
Look at the slope of her line for her times over the course of her career. Only 4 career pro races. Obviously, she was racing before she moved to the pro division, but that downward trend right there, I mean, she's always getting faster.
BK, do you hop on a plane from England to Melbourne if you're not fully convinced that you're healthy?
I think she's all gas, no brakes. I would say she would. Me? No. I'll get hurt on the flight. But she's gonna pull the trigger.
What's your worst flight injury, Bracken?
Coffee burn.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Sinead's at risk of not qualifying. I get I get the argument, but I don't think she's at risk of not qualifying. So I choose to believe that. And she was very careful in her rehab. I just don't think she makes this trip if she doesn't think that she can compete.
She also did just do the mixed doubles too, right? So I feel like that is a good indication, especially if you got a race under your belt. So
for sure. All right, Jack.
At this point, there are so many women running 61, 62 these days that
crazy.
You might as well show up if you can, especially when 2 of the people in the race already locked up a spot. So now all you have to do is finish 3rd, 4th, or 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All
right, Jack.
I'm going to be taking a woman who has actually never finished 3rd, 4th, or 5th in a race, but I believe in her trajectory. Jess Petro has been super impressive. No, I mean, Australia, here we go. She got 6th place in Hamburg, and she's consistently in like that 6 to 9 range across majors. But we talked about experience. Look at how many races are on her resume sheet right there that are majors: Amsterdam, Hong Kong, Glasgow, Hamburg. She made the Elite 15 Chicago major. She is as experienced
Vegas.
as anybody. Oh, Vegas, you're right. I don't know why I skipped that. I was just scanning over. She's got experience.
Yeah, and she's moved back. So she is back in Australia. So home field advantage. I like this pick. It's going to hit. Jess Petro is 100% going to hit. It's really not a question of if, it's a matter of when. She's co-world record holders with Joanna on the double sides. You know, she could run. It's a good pick, Jack.
Thank you. My whole team's been a good pick. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Let's stick with the Aussies. Give me Gabrielle Nakora Baker, please.
First of all, she's not Australian.
She's a Kiwi.
Second of all, I was going to pick her.
And that was picking with my head. Damn it.
All right. So
Are you going to explain Michelle's pick for me?
Yes, he is.
I'm going to use my black card.
Really?
Did we actually still have
No,
it?
I don't think I even have one.
He
Gosh
does.
darn
But
it, Michelle.
He does, but
No,
it's against Rich
there's nobody used
It's
it.
against Rich and Jack. It's against Rich and Jack. You can't use it against you. Michelle and I, we're not a part of that. You
What?
can't use
If you're
a
part of
block
this,
card against
block
people
cards
who
are
not a part
allowed.
of it.
You step foot into this recording studio and all bets are off.
This is a race brain draft, Matt. Block cards are allowed.
Gosh darn it. Take her.
I honestly, I'm very intrigued to what Bracken was going to say. So Bracken, I want you to.
That's it. I was going to say, A, she's not from Australia, and B, I wanted her.
Well, I picked her because I was in both the American races that she was in. She won Boston, pretty sure, and then Chicago. She got second.
To
both
Lauren
running an hour. So
same time,
identical time.
Same time.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
thoroughly impressed with her doing all of the travel, coming over here and just killing it. So I have a feeling that she's going to do just fine in this race. That's close to her. I'm very excited to see her in her first elite race. I think she's going to do great.
Is there a Jack's butt adjusted time for traveling 24 hours to race?
Nah, nothing.
Should be, because I think that those 60s
I mean, that kind of
59s.
that probably like makes its way into it, where it's like if you run.
I think those are worth
yeah.
59s.
Okay.
That's a great pick. And this was my head pick, Michelle. So
We're going to see, Matt.
you knew, Michelle. You were reading my mind. You knew.
Maybe manipulated you a little bit.
BK.
well, that sucks. I really wanted her, but I had 3 women I was targeting, and you took one. So I'm going to take the other 2. And maybe I had them targeted above her. Now that they're on my squad, I would never besmirch them. And so I'm going to take the person that I had almost dead even with her in terms of my ranking, which is Melanie Moore. You take her 60 flat from Ireland, and she's hot right now. And if she can replicate that time, she is in the mix for just about anything you want to do on this planet of HYROX. And then I'm going to follow that up with someone who I'm starting to get nervous that I don't know some inside information, that something's going on or she's injured or something that you're all holding out on me. But Lucy Proctor.
Damn it.
All right, let's look at Melanie first. She basically has the same schedule that you were concerned about for Sean Noble.
Yeah, minus 1 entire October race.
That helps.
That's a fair point. But she did have, but that's because she also had she did have a doubles race at Stuttgart as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Geneva, actually, now that I think about it. So she might have raced just as much as Sean Noble.
I've got the sweet spot. Some of my team's fresh, some of them are sharp. Neither's a bad thing.
That's where you're going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't be worried about she's a professional duathlete. So I cannot imagine that that HYROX is as demanding as that was.
It is differently, but I assume she knows herself. And also she's getting better. Even her adjusted time is still essentially her PR.
It'd be hard to knock her.
And who'd you pick for second?
Lucy.
Oh, I took
Proctor.
the proctologist. Proctor the doctor.
Name.
Yeah, so we haven't seen her race so much.
That is so crazy.
So is there something I don't know? Why is she around?
I was hoping that recent results you all would forget about her and that she was going to fall to me in the later rounds. It did not work out that way.
And that's fair, but like I look at, she's not going to be the 8th woman in this race, I don't believe, which is I think what she is off the board here. Ninth off the board here.
Yeah,
she ever been 9th?
No.
So I think she's good. She won her most recent race, albeit not in a world-shattering time, but she won it, and there's something to be said for that. The one before, she ran fast for 7th, her worst finish ever.
She talked about this, BK. She did not, I mean, granted, we can never necessarily fully trust what people put on social media, but she signed up last minute and she trained through it. She did not taper for it at all. So they basically used it as a workout.
Love it. So her last 2 races, she's had a win and a fast time. And the time before that, even faster. I'll take it.
It's a good pick. And she's got to be coming into this for relatively fresh. I mean, it'll have almost been 2 months that she raced. I mean, look, Lucy is someone who coming out of last season, we talked about like, is she ready to take the next step? Like you've got Meg and Lauren and then, Joanna. And then is that next group of people pushing? Is it Linda? Is it Sinead? Is it Lucy? So this is definitely someone who we think can be there and will be there. I think it's a strong pick. Michelle.
I don't know if I want to go women or men. I think I'm going to go towards the women again. There's so many impressive performances that have been happening lately, but one that's sticking out to me is Sophia Parvizi-Wayne. So when someone has a really incredible running background, once they start to get the stations down, I feel like they're going to become very scary. And I feel like she's one of these people. She's had a really impressive season so far, and her and Holly Archer just ran a really awesome pro doubles time. I think both of them are on a really awesome trajectory. So I'm interested to see how she does in this first elite race for her. But yeah, her running has always impressed me. She's kind of been on the map slowly but surely, making her way in.
She was the professional 10K runner, right?
I don't know specifics like that. I know she's very impressive times though.
Hold please. Jack, you got stats?
I'm looking it up right now. Keep talking.
Yeah, track and field results. She was this is her college runs. But in college she was
10:02 3K, 2028 6K. So pretty solid.
She can run. I'm pretty sure that she has run professional. I'm pretty sure she ran professionally for Great Britain. But yeah, I agree, Michelle. We've seen this before with some of the triathletes where they come in and then once they like kind of figure out how to get their legs underneath them and figure out the stations, weapons. So,
all right, she's got a 16:37 5K PR. So that's certainly one of the best in the field.
Yeah.
Yep. She's a runner. She's a track star. Jack.
Quick.
It's getting tricky, but I'm going to have to go with the guy who went sub 50 in doubles and has been on a tear lately, Alan Ploy. Or Plo. I always pronounce it incorrectly. But look at his results right there. 3 of his past 4 races have been in the 55s. And I mentioned that I think it was a 49.53 with Jake Williamson where he doubled up with him. Guy's got wheels. He destroys the sleds. I pulled up one of his races and he went, let's see, in Dublin, 217 on sled push, 305 sled pull. And we've talked about how sleds are making a difference this year. I feel like he's a guy who can really, really make a move if the sleds are difficult.
He's an athlete I look forward to seeing him up in the mix. I just haven't seen him up on camera in a race. I don't have, these visual reps of seeing this guy race, and I'm excited to see him up in the mix.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I just don't know, like, visually, what kind of racer is he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't seen Alan. I can't remember. Is this his debut on the men's side in the Elite 15?
So, because he did with Jake and Chicago.
He's done double. Yeah, this is his first time. Yeah, so not necessarily super surprising that you don't have a visual for him. I mean, it's a good pick. These run at times are impressive. I mean, back-to-back sub 56s. Although according to Jack's butt, they're not worth it. But
one of them's 56 flat.
Well, yeah, but is 56 sub 56, Jack?
No, it's actually equal to. So good math. Good math right there.
No, but.
Yeah, I like this pick. All right. I am torn. I am going to round out both. I have to round out because of where we're at. We're in round 6. I am going to go with the other half of the Hitty Wiersma team. Give me Martin Enthoven, who has had an impressive fall. He ran a 59.04 in Chicago. He followed that up in Maastricht with a 57.47 into a sub 55 in Dublin, where he took first place overall. Yeah, you know that race that Jack Bauer was talking about how impressive Sean Noble was? Yeah, this dude beat him by a minute in that race. It was good. It was good. And he ran that 56 mid in Stuttgart, which was a loaded race. That's probably the closest that we've had to an Elite 15, non-Elite 15 race all year, maybe in years. What did we decide, Jack? That there was like
25.
Yeah, that people, men that had raced in the Elite 15 were in that race. It was loaded, and he came out 8th. So I like his trajectory. Again, he's the other half of Team Hiddy Wiersma, or he has raced with Hiddy in the past. So I feel good about this pick. Well, I feel good about all of them. We'll see if it pans out. And then
you should. The Noble pick, which is a good one. That Dublin race was used as an example, and the last two men 2 rounds later off the board beat him there. So they have recent chops that have been shown.
That's what I'm saying. All right, Michelle, head or heart?
Go with your heart.
No, I'm going with Manuela Garcia Caparros.
There goes my pick.
Of course it was.
I have her pulled up on high result to talk about some.
No, I'm saying of course.
Yeah.
How could you not take a 3-part name?
From Europe.
Yeah, look, you know what? I think this is the first time that I have gone. Well, I have 0 Americans or North Americans on my team, but hopefully it works out for me.
Well, how many are there?
There's not many to be had.
You missed out on 2, and you're the 4th pick. So,
look, I think that Manuela has really started to piece it together since Chicago. She finished 6th at Worlds. And then, look, these streak of performances speak for themselves. We got a 2, a 1, a 1, and a 3. Also mixed in there, she partnered up with Seka Arning, another member of my team, to drop that sub 55. She's still relatively young. I feel like she's putting it together. I think that, this could be a breakout year for her. Honestly, I was between her and Kat Parnell. I wasn't really sure which way to go, but I think that we're seeing people who are putting down these fast doubles times for whatever reason that feels like it winds up being an unlock for them in a solo race. And so I'm betting on her taking that momentum and being able to feel that level of pain and hold on, carrying it over all the way to Elite 15.
I like it. I like that Jack can't pick her.
Sorry.
I personally get excited when Jack is unhappy.
Yeah. If you feel like
That's
you did your research well, even if it was just a name out of a hat, it justifies you as a person.
100%.
When Jack's upset.
I could have just pulled all that out of my ass, and I feel good about it because Jack said that he wanted her. So
I mean, that's what you usually do with your team. That's why you're finishing last place.
yeah, that's right. Well, you know what, Jack, I pulled this one out of your butt. So
All right.
your pick, Jack.
Based on the times. Let's go with an up and coming woman who ended up getting first place in Geneva, 3rd place at Stuttgart. She is a burpee machine, went 256 and 311 in the past 2 races. I have a feeling she's going to be making a serious move there. But if you look at her past 2 times, sub 62, only 5th career race, and she's done it twice. I really like the trajectory of Ellie Stenvers.
These women are just on a tear right now. These times are nuts.
It's like last year we were talking about how there was still a gap. That's
You're
gonna be
right
awesome.
over there, Matt.
I'm gonna need that to get edited out. Last year we were talking about how there was like this gap between like the top women and then the rest of the field, and like the men were deeper. A lot of these names on the women's side are new and roll downs, and look at the times they're throwing down.
Yeah.
We're like sub 61, and like 61 low is like now the standard. You used to be able to be in the Elite 15. Like it was just 2 years ago that
The
you could be in the
guys
Elite
could be
15
60.
women's race. Yeah, but the women, you could be like 66, 67 and get a roll down. You could this is crazy.
It's just going to be really cool to see all of these new names all together in the elite race. I want to see how everyone performs under the pressure of going against the best. So it'll be, everyone's done their thing in their own races nearby, but being in the major will be a different situation. So it'll just be really cool to see everyone kind of come together here.
And with that, Michelle, are you going to pick a new name or are you going to pick an old dog?
Let's go with Charlie Bottrell. He's seasoned.
It's criminal. It's criminal.
He runs quite a bit. So I think he's going to do really well here. Let's go with Charlie.
He runs.
The crazy thing is
agree.
that Jack's results don't count for the amount of doubles. And by doubles, I don't mean doubles races because those are in here too. I just mean the amount of weekends that he ran multiple pro races.
Yeah.
Charlie Bottrell has 54 races. He raced twice in Gdansk. He raced multiple times in Valencia. He raced four times in
Madrid,
twice 3 times in Madrid, twice in Birmingham. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 races since Gdansk. But if there is one human being who volume doesn't seem to catch up to you right now, it's got to be Charlie Bottrell. He's not going to be tired. It's hard to think that the jet lag gets him. Can jet lag be worse than your 4th race of a weekend?
Unless it is the straw that breaks the proverbial camel's back. He hasn't shown any sign of these things affecting him, but we are all bound by the laws of nature. And you have to think at some point it comes due. So I was planning on picking Charlie next. And because I don't get to, now I'm going to say this is a negative. Check's going to come due.
Does running a 59:48 about 10 days ago, does that make you nervous?
No, because what did he say? He ran it he did something crazy, which is like, he talked about this on Instagram. He ran it with the intent of like not exiting zone 3. It was like, it was basically like a zone 2 or zone 3 race. Yeah, he like didn't even touch threshold and he still dropped a 59:48. Like, and it was his 3rd race of the weekend.
Jeez.
Me personally, I would have rather have had my last solo race been Birmingham, where you have 3 straight races like 54, 55, 56, as opposed to I barely broke an hour. Even if it felt like a relative effort, he didn't win that race. Like it's a drop. I wouldn't have done a race that close before a flight to Australia from Europe.
I don't think the normal rules apply to him. I get what you're saying. I agree with for most people, but the confidence to tempo a sub 60 is enormous.
You're going to be working out anyway, so might as well just be in a race and get that confidence if you really know what your intention was. So if that's the case, then that sounds ridiculous. So
now, before for an athlete who raced a lot, I said I get the logic, but I wouldn't have done it. I don't get the logic, and I wouldn't have done it with almost anything he does. But it's working for him currently.
Yeah, so he raced in that Madrid race where he ran that 59 high. The day before he did the Open, and he said he felt like he was in 51 shape, but he purposely pulled back because he wanted to tempo the whole weekend. So he finished with the 53 Open and then tempoed the pro the next day and ran a 59. I get what you're saying, but I don't think, if that is true, that was his strategy all along, I don't think a 59:48 affects his confidence. I think if anything, it actually makes him feel even better because he's like, look, even if the world collapses, I'm not doing worse than a 59.
Well, again, it was purposeful for whatever he wanted to do, right? Like, it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else but him. So
right. Yeah, and your own adjusted time, Jack, is 58:30. Get off him. He tempoed a 58:30.
I think Charlie will be just fine.
I I know. I was looking for pros and cons on that. Devil's
Look,
advocate. but
I'm with BK. There could be the straw like this. He's the one person that you have to think that rent is likely to come due at some point.
If it never does, then we gotta test them. Like at some point, it's working. Let's just ride this thing until it doesn't.
Let the record show that we do not think that Charlie's juicing.
We have
Don't speak for all of us.
We've said this about Dylan for so long. It's like, how does he race so much? How does he do so much volume? It's going to catch up to him. And he's a world beater this year. Like Charlie has earned his spot in the Elite 15.
But it did catch up to Dylan. That's the thing that people forget. Dylan kind of started to fall back. Yeah, he kind of started to fall back a little bit. And then he surged back forward. But it's not like Dylan stayed on this upward trajectory like this. It was very up, down, up, down. Right now, Charlie's just up.
Test Dylan too.
We have multiple times.
15 tests during the race.
He's been tested multiple times.
Yeah, they're doing their job.
I'm not being serious.
Michelle got drug tested, Bracken. Did you know that?
I did. In Chicago.
Test her again. All right. Well, that leaves my choice easy. I need to balance out my youth. Give me Graham. Give me Jake. If we remove Oslo from this list, oh my goodness, we have to go back, 9 races before he'd have a position that was this bad of where he's taken off the board? There's no way that these two gentlemen.
I'm gonna throw your own argument. I'm gonna throw your own argument out against you. Are you worried that he got into London late and raced it, and then is hopping on a plane to Melbourne?
Always. Yeah. Except by the new rules of HYROX, people can just race more than we thought you could. Their training is so evolved. The more you train, the more you can handle. We know that. And his training is tame. His racing is tame by comparison to some of these other individuals. So having just raced, I don't love it, but he raced well.
Yeah.
So
experience matters.
September 26th, October 3rd, October 31st, November 13th, December 4th, and the race is on December 12th. That's a lot of racing.
It is, which is why I didn't pick him until this round. But at some point, you have to take Graham and you have to take Jake, and it shouldn't be this late to begin with. So I'm very happy with when I got these two men.
Oh, it's a no-brainer to take him. With all the experience. I think he's finished 5th at Worlds once. It's kind of crazy after seeing what he just did last weekend in London that he's essentially the last guy off the board. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so I love the Graham pick, but we have talked about, I'm going to bring up the last time we drafted. So Graham is the right pick here. So I'm not arguing Graham. Graham's a great pick. Okay. But I'm going to challenge you on the Jake thing. Because when I picked Jake, I took the approach of, I feel like the dude is dialed on his training. He's a runner. That's his background. He's going for this 2:18 marathon. It's either 2:18 or 2:26. I know that's a big difference, but it's one of those numbers. I can't remember which one. He's going for this marathon time, and he has not run that yet. So whereas I thought it would be an advantage, we've already seen him in an elite race that he took dead last. So, and I believe he's running is it Houston that's in January?
Houston's in March. Oh, Houston Marathon.
Chevron, in Houston.
Yeah, he's running the Chevron Marathon that he's got to be deep in a block for. Right? I mean, he's got to be deep. He probably hasn't even hit the taper yet.
You know what this sounds like to me?
That doesn't worry you.
Wild card.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounds like to me. I think that these are two individuals who, if we have 6 newbies in this field, if they're moving back and improperly pacing or not handling the moment, these two gentlemen are gobbling them up.
Yeah, he's had such a rough fall running a 55-16 in Birmingham and 56-27 in Stuttgart. That's like awful.
I'm looking at his Instagram feed right now on November 30th, which is 9 days ago. That week of training, 135K run.
It's a lot.
The elite athlete that runs the most is probably, Lauren will never tell us, but we know Meg logs 60 to 70 a week. Colin Stiefer is
60 to
sitting
70.
We think. We don't know. They don't tell us at the Hybrid Engine. But that's my point. And I know that he's in a marathon block, but that's a lot of miles.
And that's why it's important which position I picked first here. Graham, I fully trust is going to be just fine. Jake, I think can be. And he might do what we saw last time.
He did have that injury in at Worlds. So hopefully that's not affecting him anymore. I mean, he's raced a few times since Hamburg also, where he took last in the first major, but his times have improved since then.
Yeah, I get it. It's a wild card pick. I just think for me, the reason why I let Jake go this far, and I probably would have let him go at all, is he has talked a lot about how his main focus right now is this marathon goal that he's going after. And we just haven't seen anybody successfully parlay marathon blocks into HYROX.
I have no argument for that.
Oh,
All right.
BK just gave me a win. I feel good about that.
I mean, I'll
Michelle.
argue. I just won't believe it.
All right, Michelle.
All right. I want to stick with new names. Give me Kat Parnell. Truthfully, all of these...
It's a great wild card pick.
Yeah. All of these women have what it takes to make it to the top, and that's why they're on this list. But Kat Parnell, another one that has her first elite major here. I just think that everyone's going to take advantage of it. So I want to pick her and see how she does.
61-31 and sub 61 her last two races. Birmingham's not a fat.
You can't fake
Birmingham is
an
not a
hour.
fast course.
An hour and
You can't
change.
fake
You can't fake that. So yeah.
All right, Jack.
Let's go Liam McCrory. That Stuttgart race that we keep mentioning because it was so deep. Tim Vienisch ended up getting first place, Sean Noble second, but a minute after Sean was Liam. But he took down Alan, Graham, Jake, Martin. That just a lot of people who are in this race. Look at his results right there. He's got a couple back-to-back right around 56 flat for his adjusted time and actual time. I'm excited to see him in his first major.
This just highlights our sport right now. Last male picked, most likely. 56 flat, back-to-back last two races. Didn't even register on the collective consciousness of this panel. This sport is so good.
Yep.
It's like that saying back in the day where it's like, you don't know how good you have to be last place at the CrossFit Games. So like that's kind of where we're at right now. We're making the start line at the Elite 15 is so difficult. And I don't think he's going to get dead last either.
Look at that trend line.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that leaves me with Mr. or Mrs. Irrelevant, which again is a reminder for all of our non-American listeners. It's actually a term of endearment, is the last pick in the NFL draft. Tom Brady was Mr. Irrelevant, just so we're clear. The greatest.
No, he wasn't. Brock Purdy. You liar.
Purdy.
I've got a Patriot shirt on. Don't be talking about Tom Brady like that.
I knew I could get Jack. I knew I could get Jack.
No sugar confidence.
Yeah.
I knew I could get Jack. All right. Give me Zara Piergiani. I have made this pick before and said that there's no way she doesn't score. That is not Zara. Jack.
That is not Zara. What happened with... Okay. Sorry, Zara.
It's not Zara.
I'm well aware of what she looks like. That's not her.
Look, I feel like when it comes to Zara, this is, again, I've made this argument already. Experience matters. She was consistently a mid-60s person, and then she would, every now and then she'd kind of dip below. You can actually see that there. You got Glasgow, which when you put through Jack's butt, is a 63 high. We got Berlin, which we don't need to talk about Berlin, but the rest of her times kind of backed that up. And then she switched coaches this season. She's running with Tiago now. And look at those times. 61:35, 62:52, 62:53. And the Dublin and Stuttgart races were training runs. I just think the experience matters. She's trending in the right direction. I like this pick. All right. We have taken up way too much time. BK's wife is probably going to kill him.
She's too short. She could never.
I'm just projecting because my wife is going to kill me. BK, hit us with your team.
Hit up. You want to start with the winning team? We'll start with the winning team. Joanna, first place overall. Josh Van Zeelen, probably first place overall. Cole Learn, tying Josh across the line for first place. Melanie Moorer, Lucy Proctor, Graham Holiday.
Also
Graham
tying Josh across the line for first.
No, he and Jake are gonna lean across the line in fourth together, fourth and fifth.
So who's third
The proctologist.
in the men's race?
All right, Michelle, hit us.
I'm just going to take this over. My team is Hunter McIntyre, Linda Meyer, Bo Wills, Gabrielle Nakora Baker, Sophia Parvizi Wayne, Charlie Bottrell, and Kat Parnell.
Jack.
I was gifted Lauren Weeks and Tim Vanish, Sean Noble, Jess Petro, Alan Ploy, Ellie Stenfers, and Leah McCrory.
And I was gifted my entire team because they are amazing and they're going to crush it. Give me the Aussies back-to-back. James Kelly, John Wynn, the German, Saka Arning, the Englishwoman, Sinead Bent, the most electrifying farmer's carry in all of sport, Martin Enthoven, Manuela Garcia Caparros, and the old dog, Zara Piergiani.
I'm just gonna fix her photo real quick.
No, the people don't need to see that. Just you can stop sharing your screen.
Yeah. Okay.
You can stop sharing your screen. We don't need it. We don't need to see that. Oh, he left completely. That's tough.
He just canceled himself.
That is so funny. All right, gang. Well, we did it. Let us know where we got it right, where we got it wrong. Hit us up in the YouTube comments. Like and subscribe to the podcast. Like and subscribe to The Drop. Marcus is putting out great work. Jack, Michelle, BK, always a pleasure. Never a chore. My team is going to whoop all yours. We'll see you later this week. Deuces.